excited about the match tonight. I'm asking the president, how ready are you tonight?
Well, yes, Matt, we are ready. I mean, Dominica is ready, the team is ready, and the association is ready. We know what we just did recently in Tortola, that the team won 7-0 in Tortola, and now we are taking on Martinique this evening at 7 o'clock in the second game. Yes, Dominica have qualified already for the next round, but we want to be the number one team in that zone. So if we beat Martinique this evening, we're going to be the number one team. And there must be a winner. So if it goes...
But you know Martinique is no easy walkover.
I know. Although they beat BVI 3-0 and we beat BVI 7-0, that doesn't give us the big nod that some person might believe, because Martinique a few years ago were the CONCACAF Gold Cup champs. So they're not, like you said, they're not an easy team. So we mustn't just go there unless they meet them. I think the team is aware of that. But nevertheless, the team is in high spirit. So we expect to be victorious, and we expect the Dominica support this evening at 7 o'clock. Nice weather, so we expect to have a full house at the Windsor Park Stadium tonight.
Tell me, what makes Dominica so ready?
Well, what made Dominica so ready? I mean, the game against BVI Tortola itself, 7-0 in Tortola. It gives you a class example. The team is built with a lot of youth and seniority, and that is a good thing for the team. In order that we are rebuilding at the same time, we have some experience, because what we have noticed at Dominica football is we need to plan ahead, and we're doing just that. We are planning ahead. So we hope, like I said, we are qualified for round 2, and we expect to go further than just that.
Well, what is our ranking in terms of the world ranking in football at this time?
Well, Dominica is at 178, I think, in our ranking. That's our ranking. Nevertheless, we will hope to push our ranking further. I mean, to judge a team on ranking, especially teams like Dominica and some of us around the region, I mean, we shouldn't be judging ranking. I mean, now, like I say, we are building. And to build, we need other things priority to ranking. I mean, when I mean priority things, playing surfaces, where we can play football, year-round, 24/7, that kind of thing. So I don't think it's right to judge a Dominica team on the ranking. Yes, people look at ranking so many times, but they have to look at other context of what we are doing and what we expect. Your ranking can only move if you have the other infrastructures in place, or if you have, your grassroots and certain principles of football in place, then that will automatically move your ranking. And that is how the USA, Mexico, they've gone through that same stage. I mean, we can't compare with them. They are big countries with a lot of more investment in football and whatever.
But how much are you doing as an association in terms of the infrastructure? We all know that you don't have the kind of access that you need to the Windsor Park Stadium, although that's just me personally. I think you should be given a lot more access to Windsor Park. But how much work are you doing as an association in terms of getting the infrastructure in place that we used to have before as it relates to football?
Well, we're doing a lot, I must say. As we speak now, our goal project might restart in the next couple of months, maybe the next month or so. So we are not sit at the FA. I mean, it's taking some time, but we are constantly, I don't use a harass, but we're constantly negotiating with FIFA. And I know for a fact that even after Erica, that we requested from FIFA, and I must say, yes, they made some contribution to Point Michel, they made some contribution to Dublin, they made some contribution to Grand Bay, and they made some contribution to the goal project itself. So we have some money which we haven't touched yet, which has been approved from FIFA last week. They had an important meeting to discuss Dominica, and they approved some money for these various playing areas, which we will start in the next couple of months.
Let me ask you though, before you move on, do you think that you should be given a lot more access to the Windsor Park Stadium, and if not, what is preventing that from happening?
Well, I think lately we've been getting some access to the Windsor Park Stadium. I mean, we have to be fair of the fact that it's a cricket stadium, and one of the reasons is the cricket pitch. Even a lot of foreign people, when they come, they are deterred by the cricket pitch. But we have to understand our situation. It's a multi-purpose is two sports, even athletics, using it. So when we request certain times, I mean, it's difficult sometimes because we have to look at our weather. Even like today, as the times ago that we have get this weather. I mean, we couldn't mark the Windsor Park for the past 2-3 days because of the weather we have. And anytime you run on the playing surface when it's raining. It's difficult. I mean, we have to understand that, and I mean, so we have to work both ways. We have to understand the situation that we are in, and we try to work with the Windsor Park. I think for the past couple years, they've been working with us critically fair.
So you want to be fair to them. They have been trying to work with you in terms of access.
Definitely.
So you're getting much more access now than you used to.
Well, yeah, if you watch in the beginning of our league this year, most of our games were played at the Windsor Park after Erica, because we had no other areas to play, and our first rounds of games were at the Windsor Park, so games.
But don't you think it's unfair to the players, the national players, not to have access, and then suddenly you have to come play that game on that ground? So I was basically sort of requesting a little more time for practice for the national players have to come practice in Point Michel. I don't know if that's totally fair to them.
Well, like I said, sometimes the condition of the ground is something that deters the training. If it's raining, you cannot train on the ground because you're going to destroy the grass, and so like the nature of the grass that is there. I mean, I understand what you're saying, that national players should get maybe more access to any facility in a country. I mean, if you're a national player, the access should be there. But like I said, our situation is different than a lot of other countries, and that's only one major ground or one, stadium we have, and it's like I say, multi-use and that kind of thing. So you will always get that restriction. I mean, whether we like it or not, I will always have restrictions on us.
All right. Now, when will they have access to the stock farm facility?
Well, by the end of this year, we should be ready for stock farm. Even before, by maybe, let's say, September, October, we should be ready for stock farm. And although we use it for national training, the ladies use it on Saturday, the men use it a few Saturdays ago. So it's not the best when I'm best, because we want to do the changing of the grass over, like exactly what's at the Windsor Park Stadium. That's something like that we're going to try our best to accomplish. But it's going to be a home for football. I mean, it's going to be designed for that, and with the dressing rooms are going to be different. So it's something that the footballers are going to be very happy about. I mean, maybe you need to take a look at it one day, visit it. It's the dressing room is very, very something unique, and it's something that the teams will enjoy.
Well, I'm just hoping that we have access, because you will agree with me, Mr. Etienne. In your days, I saw a lot more skills from the football.
And that's why FIFA is introducing the 5 versus 5, 3 versus 5. You see, we have loved the football more before. You see, before that, you see national players, or any player, matter of fact, they would be training on their own. I mean, you know that. When you come to, if I see Michel, for example, guys, before it's 4 o'clock, the park is crowded. You have to be squeezing to get a break. I mean, these are the things that was in the past. Players would do their training on their home.
So you're saying the love for the game is no longer there?
Well, the love has dropped. So it's our responsibility and duty to see how we can bring back this love to the game. And bringing it back to the game is targeting the grassroots, the academies, and set them.
I will agree to a certain extent. This young guys, maybe the below, under 15, beginning to love the game like we used to in the past. My son, he spends his day and night on the playing field.
And that's how I used to be. I mean, now before it's sunset, you see guys are leaving the playing field. Before now, you have to be in the darkness looking for the ball, and all that helps. You see, you're going to find somebody before is on the playing field. You could find me on the playing field every day. You see, but even on Sunday morning, guys used to play football under the hot sun, and from after that, they were going into the sea, have a sea bath, and then go. Now, 12 o'clock, nobody's playing football. Because everybody, there's other social life, things are different, I don't know. But at the same time, we have to change that philosophy, where if you want to be a good footballer, you have to be at it all the time, and sports generally. You see, because sports is an athleticism thing. It's not just football. If you're an athlete, you have to love it.
Right, all systems go for tonight, right?
All systems in place for tonight. We're just expecting a big crowd from the Dominican public to support the footballers, and I think everything should be okay for us for tonight.
All right, Mr. Glenn Etienne, President of the Dominican Football Association. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you,
for the interaction. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
117. We're going to come back. Don't forget the big game tonight.
Dominica, Caribbean Cup football action is coming. Yes, Caribbean Cup football action is coming to the Wice Stadium. Tuesday 29th match from 7 p.m. The Nature Boys from Dominica will come up against our French comrades from Martinique in the 2016 CFU Men's Caribbean Cup, calling on Dominicans island-wide. We are something green. Come support our Nature Boys. Bring your whistles, drums, bandanas, flags, messier. Come back the stands. The entrance fee is only $15 for adults, and children under 12 pay only $10. Football, football, football. It's Dominica versus Martinique. Tuesday 29th match from 7 p.m. in the CFU Men's Caribbean Cup at the Wice Stadium. Don't miss it.
I'm in Dominica.
Very interesting headline there on the Sun newspaper. After a profit of 2.1 million, I'm hearing word that there may be plans in the pipeline not to renew contract. Carlisle Job Baptist following this big story there. Carlisle, good afternoon to you. Match 29th.
Good afternoon to you.
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm cool. I was here Easter.
Oh, my Easter was good. It was good. How was yours?
Oh, great.
You stayed low?
Not the usual. Good Friday. Easter Sunday. Well, Easter Vigil, midnight match from 11, and into match was over at 2:30 in the morning or thereabout. Long, then go to rest and so on. And then Sunday, football referees coming on island assisting. So I've been at it all yesterday.
Do you think Dominique is ready for tonight?
Why aren't they?
Well, I'm just asking. I don't know. You've been close to the action.
Well, I would think that they are ready. They would have to take one game at a time. They should not take Martinique for granted and go there and execute. I would think that they are ready. So I can only wish.
Well, all the officials are saying and predicting that we may do well. I guess we'll have to watch that one closely tonight.
Well, we'll see what happens from 7 o'clock tonight. All systems seems to be go. The officials are here. The batch referees from Antigua, assisted by Jamaican-born Cayman Island resident, and 2 Trinidadians will be the assistant referees, and so they all set to go. The match commissioner is on island, the referees assessor is on island, so everything is set, and then the ground is in tip-top shape, marked, and all set.
All right, I guess we'll be seeing you at the Windsor Park Stadium tonight.
Well, everybody should come and support the Dominica team. That is still it.
Carlisle, let's move our attention to the front page of the Sun newspaper. What's going on there?
Well, I'm seeing the front page, like you said, it speaks about change comes. It says that the 8 Bank chairman Martin Charles hints at change at the bank, and 8 Bank board has not responded to manager Julius Corbett's request for new contract. You'll recall, sorry, that
whatever, take your time. He has not responded to his request for a new contract?
Well, yeah, because Mr. Corbett, my understanding is that Mr. Corbett is presently on leave. As we speak now, my understanding is that he's on leave, and then you'll remember that his contract came into effect. I broke that story 3 years ago, speaking of that, about he becoming the new manager of the bank, and it comes to an end on May 7th. I remember that vividly, just to get into my system, and I saw that story right there. So I wrote that story 3 years ago, and so I remembered that story. And he took over from Kingsley Charles Thomas, who was a Jamaican guy. And so there was this AGM annual general meeting last week, and the bank reported a huge profit. And the bank has been reporting a huge profit. And as is customary, when your contract comes to an end, if you are interested in renewing your contract, you will write to the board. That is standard procedure. And my understanding is that the present manager has written to the bank board indicating his interest, and they've not responded to him.
Why would you not want to renew a contract of a manager who's just given you your second biggest profit in a year?
And in 40 years, I think, in the bank's history. So, but you will see there that if you go to page 15 of the Sun newspaper now, where Mr. Charles is stating that it says there, in his address, Charles continued to indicate that there would be changes in personnel. He added, quote, "We need to do much more to live up to our mandate. We will need to be able to handle more complex financial transactions and instruments." Charles continued, "Institutional efficiency is critical in driving the achievement of the bank. I want to ensure you that as chairman, I will drive needed reforms to achieve greater institutional efficiency and effectiveness." Charles argued that the 8 Bank must become more nimble, and he contended that there are way too many dysfunctional processes that simply clog up the effectiveness of the bank. And of course, the bank recorded a net profit of 2.69 million for the financial year. This figure was 3.24% less than that stated EC 2.7 million net profit recorded in 2014. This is the bank's second largest net profit under the restated figure for the year ended June 2014, which was the largest in the bank's 44-year history, and Charles stating that. So whilst he is in fact stating that the huge profit of the bank, yet still he is out to make changes in the managerial aspect of the bank. And they have not responded to the bank managers.
My question is, Kalal John Baptist, and maybe, we too early with the comments, but why would, they not consider, from my information, giving him another chance?
Well, he's done 3 years, and he's done 3 good years. 3 good years.
But you've not answered the question. Why would they not want to give him another chance?
But you're asking me a dumb question because I am not a member of the 8 Bank board.
You're not no. Why would you, if I'm saying, Kalil, it may sound dumb, but why would you not even want to consider giving him a go at it again?
But go ask the board of directors.
You say you know nothing about that.
Matt, go ask.
Are you pretending to make Kalal John Baptist?
Go ask Dennis Charles. Go ask Colbert Pinard. Go ask Leon LeBlanc. Go ask Martin Charles. Call them. They are the ones you have to call. They are the They are the board members. Go ask them. That's what Carl John Baptist.
I'm getting a hint there that you may know and not prepared to talk at this time. Is that what it is?
Man, go ask Martin Charles. Go ask Denise Charles. Go ask Colbert Pinard. Colbert Pinard is your good friend, but
Mr. Charles is not my good friend.
I did not say that.
The two Charleses.
Our lady from Point Michelle. Martin should be your friend. Yeah, I would think. But it's not everybody who purports to be your friend is your friend, you know.
True.
Okay.
But you claim to know who's my friend and who's not my friend, Calajan Baptist.
Well, I know Colbert Pinard is.
Oh yeah, Colbert is my I think what's his name there?
Colbert mentored you and he mentored me.
Yes.
So I know.
So he's my good pal. But I can say the others are associates. They say hi and hello.
Well, yeah, you can say that.
So I could ask them some questions.
Well, will they answer? You need to call them.
Now you're telling me to call them, and you're telling me whether they will answer. I don't know what to think right now, Carla. You tell me call them, and they might not answer.
I don't know if they will answer.
Let me tell you, did the manager speak at the last meeting, Mr. Corbett? Did he speak? You're not too sure?
No. Well, the manager would have been the chairperson, and then the manager then welcomed, etc. And then you have the chairman of the board who would have delivered. He delivered the chairman's remarks, and it's written in it. It's written in the booklet.
You just read a quote from the Sun newspaper. I don't have it in front of me, Kalai, as it relates to moving forward. Can you read that for me again? The quote from Mr. Chairman.
Charles.
Yes, please.
Charles. It's on page 15. So if you get your Sun newspaper, the story comes from page 1, moves to page 15. It says that in his address, Charles continued to indicate that there could be changes in personnel. He added, quote, "We need to do much more to live up to our mandate. We will need to be able to handle more complex financial transactions and instruments," unquote. Charles continued, quote, "Institutional efficiency is critical in driving the achievement of the bank. I want to ensure you that as chairman, I will drive needed reforms to achieve greater institutional efficiencies and effectiveness," unquote. Charles argued that the aid bank must become more nimble and he contended that there are way too many dysfunctional processes that simply clog up the effectiveness of the bank, unquote.
I would like the chairman to explain that for me, please. He's been very diplomatic.
Exactly. That is why you could see if you look at the Sun's headline, change comes. So if you are writing that, if you have written such comments in your report to the shareholders, and the manager contract is coming to an end, is just about a month away, as is stated, the manager writes asking or indicating his interest in renewing his contract, and you have not even indicated said anything.
Well, maybe the manager is not singing the tune, Kala. You know how the politics of these institutions go.
Well, I don't know.
Maybe he might be in their way. I don't know.
I've not seen Mr. Corbett. I've not spoken to him. And you know, Matt, also that Mr. Corbett will not even answer. If at all you attempt to reach him, he will not even answer.
No.
He's not one who answers calls at all.
I'm hoping that, we'll get a chance in the near future, to speak to Mr. Corbett.
But he's on leave. My information is that he is on leave as we speak. So
we'll have to watch that one very, very, very closely. But because I've already gotten, a couple notes there from, friends to the aid bank that the staff seem very happy with Mr. Corbett.
Well,
but a few members of the board seem not happy.
Well, man, he is when it comes to that,
he's a professional.
Yes, and he has that knack as to knowing how to deal with staff and people. And Mr. Corbett is not one who says much. He's one who lets his work speaks for itself.
Yeah, because somebody sent me, and I can't say that it's true. Somebody says, Matt, the manager, is reported, may have said something about the big man, and they would never renew his contract.
Wow.
That's just the vibes I'm getting here on WhatsApp by people who knows better. So very closely associated to the bank.
Wow.
I don't know about the big man. That's all I'm reading here. He may have said what, I don't know.
Said what? I mean, if the man is a professional, he's a professional. You treat the man.
You knew what happened the last time with the relief supplies and the back and forth. Who may have said what? You remember that when we broke that story?
Yes,
Really relief supplies from St. Martin.
Yes.
A lot of people were disappointed.
Yes, but you must also remember that the bank is the government owned, and so to be manager of that bank, you must get, and make no mistakes about that, you must get the blessings of the Prime Minister, man. Don't make no mistakes about that.
The blessings of the Prime Minister?
Yes, man, come on, man, don't be naive. Don't be naive about that.
So he has to give the green light.
It's obvious, man. So you think the Prime Minister is going to have someone who is not seen from their hymn sheet? And I don't know if at all Mr. Corbett.
Yeah, we have to stop. We have to stop playing politics with these positions. I mean, if the guy perform, he perform. Just renew his contract and let's move forward.
The records are there to speak for itself. The man has performed and performed creditably. And I'm not singing his supper, but I if the records are there in black.
But Kala, the last time it happened at the NBD, he got profits. And because, again, he did not see eye to eye with the board chairman, they wanted to get rid of him.
Well, yes, that's exactly my point. And so they have decided they put him at the aid bank, and we know the aid bank was struggling. And mind you, Matt, somebody made a comment some time ago. I saw it, in fact, last week on DNO. And the person said it's strange that the National Bank of Dominica is reporting a significant loss and the aid bank is reporting this huge profit, yet they are going to get rid of the manager. Someone spoke about that on a chat on DNO. I read that and I'm like, listen to something.
What is spreading around? I'm just hoping that they be professional about it and stop the politics of these institutions.
And not stop hurting people. The man is a professional. Treat the man as a professional. Too much politics in that. We must get away from this party political things.
I'm putting square pegs in wrong holes, Kalaja Baptist.
Of course. I mean, the man is a professional. The man has taken the bank, moved the bank from one level to another.
And what hurts, Kalil, is not that I'm blasting anybody. There's nobody on the board who has the financial and the competence, professional competence, and knows banking like him. No. But yet they are the ones controlling and going forward.
Let me tell you, controlling is toy, brother man. Them people there, I mean, look at those who are in the on the board. Let me see if I can remember the names clearly. You have the chairperson with Martin Charles. We all know who Martin Charles is. We have Denise.
Well, what is his professional background in financing?
He's been in the insurance industry for a little while. The field area, we know the insurance. That is where he's been. And remember, one time he was in Dutsi, and my understanding is he is still chairman of Dutsi Dominica Unit Trust Fund, who has an office at the Dominica Social Security, who is paying a staff there every month, paying a staff, and nobody's saying nothing about that. Nobody's investigating that. I have done countless stories. I've tried several times to find out from Mr. Charles what is the status of Dutsi. So every month, someone is getting paid who they have an office at the Dominica Social Security. And we don't know who, I mean, well, you don't in Dominica. Eh?
Well, let's move on, Kala. You spoke about Mr. Martin Charles. Clearly, does not have the competence and the professional background. He can hit me if he wants, but I'm just saying it as it is. That's who Matt Peltier is. Put somebody. I'm sure there are a lot of young people coming from colleges and universities that have more competence. But let's move on.
Yeah, but then he was also chairman of the police
welfare.
No, not police welfare. The police association.
Okay.
He was chairman of that, and then he was replaced by Ian Monroe, and so it goes, man. People, I mean,
let's call out a few more names.
I mean, and on the board.
Yes, on the board.
Yes, you have Denise Charles, Matt.
From what background, professionalism in human resource. Maybe you can, she could be used there in one or two cases.
You have Colbert Pinard.
I don't know Colbert's background. Youth officer, youth worker.
Yes, and I don't recall everybody else because I don't have the booklet in front of me as we speak. But I mean, Matt, if you look at those persons who are on the board in terms of their financial background in banking, it's almost zero. It's you have to say that. And the remote control. They are managing the bank by remote control, and that is basically what it is. And they have the gentleman there just like a puppet on a string, and so if they cannot get
it's very, very, very unfair.
If they cannot get their way, and so people's monies are there, and so that is how it is. And those guys are living the life. Remember when some time ago when I spoke about they went on or they were supposed to have gone on a cruise. They went to St. Lucia. Remember some time ago we spoke about that, and then they came out heavily defending it and saying, well, whatever. But these are the guys.
Is Ambrose Sylvester part of that team as well?
No, man. They will not have Ambrose Sylvester there.
You're joking.
They will not have Ambrose Sylvester. The Ambrose Sylvester is the retired financial secretary. No, man, they don't have him there. He was there a few years ago. I think he was one-time chairman.
Okay.
I think he was one-time chairman of that board. And
but my point is this afternoon, Carlisle, I mean, it's time we stop putting square pegs in round holes. Somebody cannot approach me, Carlisle, no big background in finance, and they tell me go and be, a board member. You have to say to yourself, I don't have the competence to serve. You understand?
But they will not say that. They will not say that because remember, it's the boys. It's the boys.
Well, Kala, thank you very much. We're going to watch that story very, very closely to see whether, that contract will be renewed. But from what we're gathering, it's not going in his favor, but we may be wrong.
But poor Mr. Cobbett, again, poor fella, I feel for him.
Good afternoon to you, Mr. Cobbett. And congratulations, you and your team, for doing a good job at the 8-back. Thank you. A lot of square pegs in wrong hole. Where are we going as a country? We're coming back after this.
Dominica, Caribbean Cup football action is coming. Yes, Caribbean Cup football football action is coming to the Wice Park Stadium. Tuesday 29 March from 7 p.m. The Nature Boys from Dominica will come up against our French comrades from Martinique in the 2016 CFU Men's Caribbean Cup, calling on Dominicans island-wide. We are something green. Come support our Nature Boys. Bring your whistles, drums, bandanas, flags, messieurs. Come back the stands. The entrance fee is only $15 for adults, and children under 12 pay only $10. Football, football, football. It's Dominica versus Martinique. Tuesday 29th March from 7 p.m. in the CFU Men's Caribbean Cup at the Wice Park Stadium. Don't miss it.
I'm in Dominica.
Q Classifieds. Get more value for your money, more bang for your buck. Advertise on Q95. Get even more value when you advertise on Q Classifieds. Property for sale, lease, homes, business premises, car rentals, job vacancies, hotel and restaurant services, tours, finance and insurance services, and more. Advertise on Q Classifieds. Advertise your audio or videos, scripts, flyer information, notices, and more. Advertise on Q Classifieds. Everyone's listening. Get the word out to local, regional, and worldwide listeners in real time. Advertise on Q Classifieds. Your channel for quick results. Advertise on Q Classifieds. Right on Q.
I'm out of my mind, thinking I was cool in the wrong time. One of a kind, living in a world gone classic. Baby, you're so classic. So classic. Baby, you're so classic. Baby, you're so classic.
So, to the 10,000s of you gathered here today, I say I know. Yes, I know many of you are pressed under the burden of debt. It's hard, but there's hope. I have good news for you today. Yes, good news. The folks at Flow have given me a special message just for you. That if you have any unpaid bill or debt from 7 years ago until now, you can be debt-free at last. Flow will swipe away up to 80% of your debt. It's called the Flow Debt-Free Amnesty. So you only pay up to 20%, and you can say goodbye to your Flow debt.
Did you hear that, honey? This is unbelievable. All of our phone, mobile, and internet bills from Flow can disappear once and for all. Just what we needed right now.
Yes, my people. Flow debt-free at last. We can flow debt-free at last. We, the people at Flow, endorse this message. Call, come in, go online, and let us help you wipe away all your bills at last. Promotion ends 31st March 2016. Flow terms and conditions apply.
It's WrestleMania time again. Come see Shane McMahon take on The Undertaker in a steel cage match. Roman Reigns versus Triple H for the WWE Championship belt. And there is more. Dean Ambrose takes on The Beast. WrestleMania, April 3rd, 2016. Don't miss out on this great wrestling pay-per-view event. Only on Mapping.
Do you remember the days of Bell's Combo and B+? What about the late great Tony, king of fried chicken and punch? Simon, the once-time pride of the West Coast. The old school band club, formerly Simon Nightclub, newly refurbished, will be slamming on Saturday, April 2nd, 10 p.m. Mr. Mix, Prince Radix, and the Gale Force Winds of 48 karat gold, Swinging Stars. The 40 days and 40 nights will be over. It's a big people affair. Entrance $20. Supported by Digicel, the Extraordinary Network. The Old School Barman Club Massacre, Saturday, April 2nd. Swinging Stars, Mr. Mix and Prince Radix. Tugamun Vini Bunulaje.
Brighter Days, the one-stop shop for your baby diapers, wipes, cleaning products, grocery items, and bulk or wholesale items. Located on the corner of Great George and the Hillsborough Streets by the All Saints Medical School. Visit us today. Open Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Telephone number is 448-1636. Brighter Days.
St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival celebrates an unforgettable journey with the best of the years, recapturing the most nostalgic moments, creating new magic with Air Supply and Chris Standring, George Benson and Joey Alexander, Cool of the Gang and Omi, BWB and Shaggy are just a few, alongside headliner Mark Anthony. An island party not soon forgotten. The St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival 25th anniversary, April 29th to May 8th. Visit stluciajazz.org. Executive producer, the St. Lucia Tourist Board. Platinum sponsor, RBC Royal Bank.
Q Classifieds. Get more value for your money, more bang for your buck. Advertise on Q95. Get even more value when you advertise on Q Classifieds. Property for sale, lease, homes, business premises, car rentals, job vacancies, hotel and restaurant services, tours, finance and insurance services, and more. Advertise on Q Classifieds. Advertise your audio or videos, scripts, flyer information, notices, and more. Advertise on Q Classifieds. Everyone's listening. Get the word out to local, regional, and worldwide listeners in real time. Advertise on Q Classifieds. Your channel for quick results. Advertise on Q Classifieds. Right on Q.
Okay, let's take a few phone calls. The time is limited. This is Talk on the Block. What's going on in your part of your community? We're taking your phone calls at this time. Hello, talk to me here.
Matt.
Yes. Mola. Hola, toi, va y aller. All right, hello, 148.
Hey, Mr. Pelty, blessing, sir.
My brother, how you doing?
Cool. Let me shout out Carlisle. Matt.
Yes.
I think they should make Martin Charles the new manager.
They should?
Yeah, man, he would do a better job. Matt, you see, if you're too astute, showing accountability and profit and all of that, Matt, give me a break. These guys must be disappointed with Mr. Corbett. So no wonder you're hearing they're not responding to his request of renewal where his contract is concerned, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm a bit suspicious about that. Matt, come on. A man is giving you all that in the history of the existence of the bank, Matt, or in the history of the bank. And you're telling me you're a bit hesitant, and you listen to Martin Charles talking all his jargon, all his diplomacy. He's not saying anything. But what rather than commendations, Matt, for the brother and his performance. But guess what? I think the brother is too astute. The brother brought profit rather than crying out a loss. And I wonder whether the loss would have gone, Matt, if Mr. Corbett was not there. Thank you.
Good afternoon. 449-3095. Talk to me here.
Hey, Matt, good afternoon, Matt. And how are you, Matt?
I'm trying my very best.
Yeah, Matt is saying we have the country going. The country is going backwards, Matt. And the other thing, those people are in authority. They are very evil to try and put a man who's giving you profit out of job, Matt. Thank you.
Well, I would really want to know why would you want to get rid of him. Hello. 449-3095. Hello.
Yes, good afternoon, Matt.
Uh-huh.
I think Martin, he's trying his utmost best to only give red people money. But you have, giving loans, in fact, you have Mr. Corbett sharing it and giving it to all Dominicans. Because Martin, with his own word, said, you better be red if you come in for a loan, or else I keep in the papers, the application on the desk, and you can't get nothing. Remember?
You heard Martin Charles say that?
He said that for real. He said that in front of me. And again, you have another chairman of the board for the National Bank. Watch all on top. It's only Young Freedom Movement that's controlling. Take it and goodbye.
Hello, talk to me here. You better be very careful what image we, put out there as it relates to the aid bank. Hello.
Yes, Matt. Good afternoon.
Yes.
Matt, I support you with scriptures in wrong hole. In Dominica, we have too much of that. Too many people in position that are not supposed to be made, and it's just because of their political affiliation. So yes, I support you. And I'm also amazed that you will be supporting a man for Prime Minister who only don't even have a school living certificate. That's a square peg in a round hole. I'm talking about Leonard Clinton without a school living certificate and trying to be Prime Minister of Dominica. I'm surprised that you are supporting that. Thank you.
All right, hello, thank you very much. 152.
Yeah, good afternoon, Matt. Matt, I agree with you, you know, what you said about Martin Charles. You remember Dutsi?
Yes.
The Unit Trust Corporation? He was very successful in bringing it down. You see, so the man have no track record of management or any financial institution. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's move on. Hello.
Good afternoon, Matthias Pelton.
How you doing?
Matt, you know, for that guy that just spoke there, you know, you should give him the warning that it's better you remain thing and then open your mouth and be okay.
You know, sometimes you let people speak, and you don't. There's nothing you can. One professor once told me that you can't educate ignorance.
You know, and Matt, this is the sort of thing that he talked about Lennox with school leaving certificate. This guy is a fool. But anyway, Matt, I didn't call to talk about any.
Yeah, let's not get personal on this guy. Let's go.
Matt, you see this thing about the bank, Matt? People don't understand something, Matt. Matt, we continually, I don't know, this administration has no concept or idea of the contribution or the significance or the importance of the financial services sector to the economy. But it is the fuel that drives the economic engine, Matt. Matt, I like to use an analogy, Matt. But if you have the thing Ghost, the most expensive vehicle in the world on your front lawn or in your garage, Matt, and you don't have fuel to put in that vehicle, Matt, it is what it is, a piece of junk sitting in your garage because it doesn't have the fuel to run. But if our financial services sector is in poor shape, not properly managed, there is no policy addressing that aspect, Matt, the whole economy is bad. It is worse off, Matt, because businesses need finance, they need capital. Whether startup, whether ongoing, whatever the case may be, Matt, it comes from the financial services sector, Matt. Matt, we have the weakest financial services sector in the entire Caribbean, Matt. Because we have a bunch of incompetent people who basically, Matt, let me tell you something, Matt. I don't know why this government has reduced our country to mediocrity, ineptitude, and these sorts of things, Matt. Matt, the aid bank was part of the National Bank initially, Matt. The purpose of the Agricultural Industrial Development Bank, this is what aid bank stands for, Agricultural Industrial Development Bank. The commercial bank, which is the National Bank, was supposed to use the deposits from its customers to finance and fund the agricultural and industrial sectors, Matt. That is what it was intention, not to give mortgage loans, Matt. Not to give jobs to the boys to run around fancy and foolish, Matt. Our agricultural sector is in the tank, Matt. We need at least $300 million to put agriculture in the place where it should be, Matt. And that will be a start, Matt. If we invest $300 million in the agricultural sector now, Matt, we can expect a minimum return of 2.5%. Okay? So we're looking, Matt, 2.5 times 3 is $750 million. Is the minimum return we can expect, Matt. What do? We have been giving mortgage loans, doing all kind of foolishness. The farmers struggling, they don't have inputs, you have DPEC struggling. DPEC should be heading managed by professionals heading the agricultural sector. We have, Matt, Dominica has more agriculturists per square mile than any other country in the world, you know, Matt. We have some of the most competent and qualified agriculturists in every field, Matt, in every field in the world. Yet we don't have a lab, we don't have a test, we don't have a... What is the aid bank doing, Matt? Matt, you have somebody who is at the head of the aid bank who was once in an insurance company that failed, that caused Dominicans millions of money. Matt, you know, in the United States, such a person could not work in any financial institution in the United States. No, Matt, this is the way things work. But in Dominica, it is people like these you find heading these institutions.
We'll take you out on that. Now, take another phone call at this time. Thank you for your contribution there. This is Talk on the Block. Reading on the Dominican News Online that the Dominican Hans Rasta Oliver was shot in St. Thomas over the weekend. That's Sunday night, to be more specific, March 27, and he later succumbed to his injuries at a hospital. Reports indicate that Oliver from Portsmouth was shot multiple times in an area called Brookman Road in St. Thomas at about 1:45 a.m. Police in St. Thomas are searching for a suspect named O'Malley Chow, a French national of Baie-Mahault, Guadeloupe. In other news, Patricia Scotland QC, who later this week takes office as the sixth Secretary General of the Commonwealth of Nations, will today give an opening address, we've been told, to the 15th Conference of Presidents and Governors General of the Caribbean region in Antigua and Barbuda. On the first day in office, April 1st, the new Commonwealth Secretary General will visit Dominica and open the new Disaster Rehabilitation Center on the island, following the devastation caused by Tropical Storm Erica. We'll be back here tomorrow to talk more on the hot seat. Have a great afternoon. Don't forget the big game tonight, 7 p.m., Windsor Park Stadium.